you guys can do this afternoon if you're not too busy.
In September, government officials and representatives from Canada's Suncor Energy Company planted trees on a hill overlooking this field. It used to be a tailings pond, an area where residue from oil sands extraction was flushed with water. New technology shortened the time required to reclaim this 200-hectare area and plant hundreds of thousands of trees and bushes. Canada's Suncor Energy is one of the companies extracting the oil sands. CEO Rick George says reclaiming the area is expensive, but it's necessary.
A normal operating basis is to reclaim these ponds all back to a dry state, and so that when you come out here, a decade from now, you will not actually know that this was actually ever a mined area.
But environmentalists say reclamation will not restore the land to the way it was before. Andrew Nikifork is a Calgary-based environmental writer.
50% of the landscape that has been disturbed were wetlands. And we have no plan at this point in time to replace those wetlands because, number one, we don't know how to do it, and number two, the economic cost of doing so would be extraordinary.
In the future, much of the work in the oil sands will not be mining, but in situ extraction. It uses steam pumped into the ground to melt the oil called bitumen so it can be pumped out. But Nikifork says there are negative consequences from using so much energy and water.
It's extremely energy intensive, so you're burning natural gas, a relatively clean hydrocarbon, to produce a really dirty hydrocarbon, bitumen. The second is that you're often using anywhere from 2.5 to 3 to up to 6 barrels of water to produce this steam.
He says more research is needed to determine how in situ operations affect groundwater and nearby rivers. And he says Canada and its principal customer, the United States, need to be aware of the environmental costs of developing oil sands.
This project has placed both Canada and the United States, who are dear friends, in an awkward position where we have now replaced Saudi Arabia as the #1 purveyor of oil, and we've taken on a lot of Saudi characteristics in the sense we're not being totally honest about how dirty this whole project is.
But officials from Alberta argue that oil sands have enriched the province and Canada as a whole and can be exploited responsibly. Chris Bordeaux of Alberta's Environment Agency says this young industry is improving all the time.
The companies themselves are committed to doing a better job, and I think a lot of people will find, as the industry matures, that we'll make even more and more progress.
The economic benefits of the oil sands are obvious here in Alberta Province, especially in cities like Calgary that are experiencing a boom partly because of the oil sands. But people here would like to find a balance between those economic benefits and preserving the environment. Flakus, VOA News, Calgary, Alberta Province, Canada.